Looks like we have a caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment. I had a chance to go to the town hall meeting that was held on Saturday at the library, and it was put on by one of our county commissioners to help educate people about what they're trying to do here in Cheyenne, which is called that plan that they call Plan Cheyenne.
Go ahead.
And I just wanted to say, I just really, it was really well attended. There was like over 100 people there, and I think it was really helpful. I really appreciate the fact that we had that opportunity to learn more. There was an expert there that has a lot of experience with what's gone on in Fort Collins, at Plan Fort Collins and Plan Denver, and I think if the people in the community really have a chance to really learn and understand what's really involved in that plan, they're not going to be for it. It's actually a little scary, some of the things that may be coming our way. And so I was really appreciative of that meeting, and I hope that people will get involved and listen and take time to learn more about what Plan Cheyenne is all about and speak out to our city council people and our county commissioners. There's a meeting this Thursday at 3:30 with the county commission, and they're going to be talking about that, whether or not they want to pass that. And just looking at what it's all about, I hope people will really start to pay attention, because I think it's going to be things that we're not wanting here in our community. So,
what are some of the things you're concerned about?
That's the lady that came from Fort Collins that Lee had talk on Saturday, right?
Right. Yeah, the same person that I think was on the radio about a week ago.
Right.
So, a lot of it is just there's this big push to turn our community into this green community. And when you go down to Fort Collins, you'll start to notice a lot of things like taking roads that are big thoroughfares where they have maybe 2 lanes on each side, and they're reducing them down to 1 lane on each side with 20 feet of sidewalk. And bike paths are great, but you still have to be prudent in keeping the flow of traffic. And you'll start to see a lot of congestion because of this effort to push this green community. Business owners that are when just the UDC alone, when you start to see the restrictions on business owners. I know of a small business that wanted to move here to Cheyenne, and just to try and retrofit an existing building that's vacant, that would be great to have somebody move into. It was going to cost them $15,000 just to update the sign to meet the code. But it's already an existing building that's got a sign there. Just a lot of things that are making it very difficult for business, and some of the businesses in Fort Collins have been closing because of those issues. Also, like taking already very usable parking spots on the street and making them on-street bike racks. When you start doing those things like downtown, that gets very difficult when we already have a limited amount of parking. And it's all, this push to be a green community. Look, we all care about our environment, but we still have to be practical. And, riding your bike in weather like this probably wouldn't be very practical. But
no, I know exactly what you're talking about. I was in Fort Collins all day yesterday helping one of Steve here at the station's friends move from Wellington, Fort Collins. It's all hippied up. I get a map of Fort Collins, and it shows bike routes, and all it is yellow, and I'm looking at the map, and it was all bike routes, so I know exactly what you're talking about. They have a larger area to do this, and Cheyenne does have a compressed infrastructure, so I got to agree with you. If you go out towards the parks or go north or go south to do it where it's not going to convene inside the central part of the community, then it might be all right.
Right. Well, yeah. I think there's places where we can do that, and we have a greenway, and I ride it myself with my kids.
Yeah, right there north of Del Range, right?
Yeah. But when you start talking about the big thing behind it, though, that everybody needs to understand is what the city and the county are proposing with this Plan Cheyenne is they're taking federal money. They want to take federal money, and we're going to hear certain county commissioners and certain people on the city council say, well, it's free money. Well, nothing's free from the government. There are always strings attached, and if you think that they're not going to have control and be making the decisions, unfortunately, it's going to take the power away from our elected people, even on the city council, and it's going to give it to this MPO, the Metropolitan Planning Organization, and they're the ones going to be calling all the shots for our city. And I think we just need to be aware, because that's not our form of government. We need to have elected people that represent us, and when you take that authority away from them and put it with a bureaucratic group that's appointed, it's going to make things more difficult, because we're going to lose some of our say. And, one interesting thing that the city of Fort Collins, there was an ad in the paper telling people that if they were going to have a party for Super Bowl Sunday, they needed to call and report that party. And then this is true. There's a
no, I'm not
ad.
doubting you. It sounds funny.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you can't make this stuff up. I mean,
no, you
really
can't.
Sounds like Colorado.
Exactly. We'd like to know where your party's at so we can come.
Yeah, well, you got to report it though, because if there's some kind of violation, or there's a sound ordinance or whatever, or you're too loud, and they come and you didn't report it, you're going to be fined like $1,000 or something. Again, like, where's our freedom going in this country? And this is what's happened with Plan Fort Collins. Well, the same thing is coming here. It's Plan Cheyenne. It's the same thing. It's right out of Colorado. It's what they've done in New York. I mean, it's all the same program. And so I hope people are getting aware that this is what our mayor, this is what some of our city council people and some of our county commissioners are supportive of. And so I hope that people will start paying attention, because if it goes too far, sometimes it's hard to reverse these things.
Do you think we should consider turning down the federal money in some cases?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, how many times has federal money really...
Yeah, we're not GM.
Well, that's the thing. Like, so often, when you take it, you're going to be beholden to the federal government.
Absolutely.
Our government, our governor's the same way. He wants to take federal money for our education. You're federalizing education. You're now federalizing our community. And we don't need that. We don't need that, because, and the politicians say, well, it's free money. No, it's not free. There's always a cost.
No, you're right. It's not like the H&R Block commercials. We found $6 billion laying around that you can get. Yeah, because morons didn't do their income tax, so they didn't get returns, because they say there's still 20 or 30% of Americans that just don't file federal income tax.
That many? Wow.
I don't know. I made that number up.
Oh, okay.
I think so. I think there's a lot of people that don't file federal income tax, so that's why the money's left over. So H&R Block says, come get what you're owed. No, it's what other people were owed, but it's in the bank.
Well, if you don't file and you've got money coming back, that's dumb.
Well, people do it.
I know,
because they don't want to have deductions from their, exactly. They don't want FICA and all that from their paycheck, so they just don't pay it.
I'll just leave you with one last thought, and I'll hang up. But communities that have taken on programs and policies like this, community states, we know which ones they are, and they're the ones that we keep hearing about that are going bankrupt. Because look, the money's not there forever. They may give you a grant for a period of time, but the money is going to run out, and then who's left to pay the bill? When all that federal money's gone, who's left to pick up the pieces? It's us.
All right, well, we appreciate your call. Good points today, sir. Stay out of Fort Collins.
Yes.
Bye now. Thank you.
And we'll be back here in just a few minutes with the Morning Zone on KGAB.
On KGAB, good morning.
Good morning. I just wanted to follow up with what the gentleman said before the break about Plan Cheyenne. This will be presented at the Laramie County Planning Commission on Thursday, this following Thursday, on the 13th at 3:30 p.m. If the public would like to come and express their thoughts, and all, it will be presented at least. I'm not sure about the public comment. It depends. I mean, I'm not sure. But anyway, it will be presented to the Planning Commission before it goes to the county commissioners.
And, of course, anybody who'd like to find out more should attend that meeting. Also, if you have, we don't know about input. I guess we don't know if they're taking public comment. Is that right?
I'm not sure if that will be public comment. But anyway, it will be presented and explained what it's all about.
Well, I certainly think people need to pay attention to the workings of local government. A lot of times people don't pay attention, frankly, and then they don't like what they get. So be sure and get informed and get involved would be my advice.
Definitely, and the Planning Commission meets before the county commissioners will be accepting it or declining it.
Right, this is the first stage in the process. It goes from them to the county commission.
This is the first for the county.
Now let's reset the stage again for what this actually is. This is the series of meetings with the county commissioner and organizations, and the first part was the representative from Fort Collins that came Saturday to kind of talk about what they've done in Fort Collins. So what is because I saw the list. All we really have is the list of meetings for the next couple of weeks.
And
we don't have topics or
right.
Or how the forum's going to work. But reset the stage for us on this.
Well, this is the Planning Commission. This
Right.
is actually the commission that deals with it before it goes on to the County Commission. This is the first step in the regulatory process.
Right.
And they'll be taking a look at it. As she mentioned, we don't know about public comment. My assumption is there would be some kind of public comment, but I don't absolutely know that, so I don't want to make that statement. But
I got you.
In any case, if you want to track what's going on with this, this is a good time to get involved, of course. This is the kind of thing that really affects people's lives. We're talking travel routes. We're talking planning for metropolitan roads, streets. This is the kind of thing that really affects people's lives, even if it's not the kind of thing that necessarily jumps out and grabs you at first look.
Right, gotcha. Ma'am, thank you so much for anything else to add this morning?
That's exactly right, and it has already been to the City Planning Commission, but this is the county, and we work together with the Metropolitan Planning Organization between city and county. So it does affect the county residents as much as it does the city, and of course the city is not a donut. I mean, we are all county, whether you're city or county residents, you're all county residents, if you get my point.
Absolutely.
And I think that it is very, very important to hear both sides of an issue and then put your input, because there are a lot of things in Plan Cheyenne that could be very detrimental to both homeowners as well as to business owners, and of course there's more involved besides the streets and roadways. And
because addition and changes to roads and streets affect property owners.
Exactly, and this is something that we do. It has to be done, I believe it's every 5 years.
That is
every
correct,
4
yes.
years,
It's 5,
whatever.
I believe, yeah.
And it has not been updated since 2011, so we do still have some time before it is accepted or declined.
Okay, and again, when and where's that meeting?
That's for the County Planning Commission, Laramie County Planning Commission. It will be held in the Commissioners' Meeting Room on Thursday the 13th at 3:30 p.m.
Ma'am, we appreciate the call.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. 9:38, just about, 21 minutes away from our governor speaking to us on the state of the state. Wow, and we're getting all kinds of calls this morning. We certainly appreciate that. Good morning. You're on with Doug and Chuck here, filling in for Amy on KGAB.
Well, hey, good morning. This is Barry speaking.
Barry, how are you?
Doing good. Hey, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I was one that actually interviewed her to get this whole thing going. It's very important to me as a
Barry,
citizen.
I know you.
Yeah.
I need to call you back. I
Okay.
think I called your number, and I think the number I had was the wrong number.
Okay. Well, I'll give you a call later.
Some guy said Ecclesiastes here, and I
Oh.
go, I don't think that's Barry.
I'll give you a call later, Chuck. But, it's so important to me to what's going on. I think that with the issues at hand, the more you know, the more, more informed that you are, the better choices and decisions you can make. Now, that being said, I know that we have some very smart elected officials. Now, don't you think that if they know the city of Cheyenne, don't you think they know better than what some federal unelected official would come in and try to tell us? Because when you're an elected official, you're touchable. You understand the business. You understand the situation. Just like with the last caller and the caller before that, all I can say is Emerald Degassi. Bam! That was really good.
It was really good,
Yeah, it
because
was.
if you're dealing with an influx of federal money, you're going to have outside federal people intervene, because they're going to bring the federal money in, and they're going to try to ride shotgun over locals to where that's going to go, I think. That's that.
I
that's
agree with
that,
that, yes.
That's that. You don't have to pay this back. Oh, sure, there are no free lunches.
And that's very true. Chuck and Doug, if you have a house and you live in, and you let someone come in and you don't stand up for the situation, they're just going to keep taking more and more over. And each one of us, I know, we love liberty, we love our freedom, we love to have the things we want to do. And when we have somebody from the federal government telling us what to do, that is not right, that's not freedom, and that is not liberty.
Well, I've seen this with the city, too, just in the short time I've been here. The arts thing, they brought in that Minneapolis consulting group to look at a couple of places, the Heinz Building, the Hole, a bunch of other places. But it was the organization, and I cannot remember the name, it's Arts something. Now, it's way past arts. These guys are telling you, we'll help you invest, but we're going to tell you what to do, where we're going to put this, whether it's a dormitory for artists, or it's a gallery for artists, or it's also a studio where they're looking for that space. So they were going to be dictatorial as well. So any outside source, by just namesake, is going to be dictatorial to what they want you to do, right?
Oh, very true. And when that comes, we should be awakened to the situation. And I know that more people are waking up, and I believe that we can offset this situation that is trying to come in like a wave. And I appreciate you guys letting people come in and really voice their opinion, because it is very valued. And I think that, as we move forward, more things will be done, more things will be uncovered, and we can hold our elected officials accountable, because I will be there at 3:30 on Thursday, and I'm taking time off work because it is important to me.
Hey, let me ask you this.
Yes.
You got to get money somewhere. If we don't take federal money because we don't want the federal intervention for things we're going to do in Cheyenne, can we do what Chicago did and did that travel tax? And when you go to Chicago, and this is how they were able to build the United Airlines arena and whatnot,
Sure.
could we have a hotel and leisure tax during CFD?
I think everything that we would try to do with taxing should go before the people. We should let the people vote on it. We shouldn't let just 15
But we got to get
people.
money somewhere.
Well, and that's true. But the thing is,
we're not the Salvation Army ringing a bell, Barry.
well, and that's true. But, Chuck, what's interesting about this, we're taking money that's actually more national debt. We're putting ourselves more in debt. We need to start just looking at things and saying, okay, what do we really need? Because, look at our government. They're passing stuff left and right. Like Nancy Pelosi said, we got to pass it to find out what's in it. But I think we need to really be more transparent, to let people see what's going on. Let the people vote. Because if we keep just throwing money out there or taking the money that's coming, we're putting ourselves in a situation of a catch-22.
And I also agree there's no money to take.
Mm-hmm.
Where's it coming from? We going to print some more? Reopen the Denver
let's
Mint?
do that.
Barry.
Hey, appreciate it.
Nice talking to you. Call me later. I just wanted to get in touch with you after a couple of weeks ago when Dave left.
Sure.
You had left me a note and some information and such, so I do want to talk to you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You got
Thanks,
it.
Barry.
Thanks, Barry. 9:43 now, AM 650 KGAB.